My Diaspora is an assembled bronze sculpture I created to commemorate the very personal and tragic history of my family's dissolution and partial destruction. It took me over 2 years to create and was a difficult personal challenge because most of my earlier sculpture had been only figurative in nature with live models. Originally, I had intended it to convey both my separation from my family and also my lifelong search for information about their fate, especially that of my little sister Miriam, who was only 1.5 when I last saw her. I decided to use the visual metaphor of an inverted family tree, starting from a central trunk, to symbolize our intact family at home in Frankfurt am Main in pre-war Germany. Then, sculpting branching limbs to represent each of the separations and dispersals of our family from our home and from each other. I began this piece with a wax sculpture of my sister, which I built from one of the last photographs I have of her on her 5th and probably her last birthday. My Diaspora started out as a story of my family's tragic history. The sculpture memorializes the permanent separation of the men in my family, my father, my brother Gus, and myself, from the women, my mother, my sister, and my paternal grandmother, soon after Kristallnacht, when I was 3.5. Neither group ever saw the other again. As I sculpted it over many months, it became even more meaningful to me. It was no longer just about the dissolution of my family. It had also become a palpable way for me to express my hope that against all odds, my little sister Miriam might have survived and might still be alive. Perhaps, by exhibiting this sculpture publicly, someone who knows her today might one day encounter this piece at a Holocaust-related meeting, recognize Miriam, and so reunite us. Thus, the hands in the sculpture are meant not only to represent my yearning for these lost relationships, but also for my brother and I, the possibility of being reunited with Miriam, our little sister. And as I sculpted it, it became even yet more to me. It also became a symbol of what our rescue by International Jewish Charity meant. It was not only dedicated to those of my generation who were rescued, but also to our children and grandchildren, who, were it not for the heroic and caring Jews and Christians who rescued us and risked so much to do so, we would not be here today to enrich our adopted homeland, nor would our grandchildren and children with their talent and their enterprise.